Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of the Unbounded Artistry podcast.
Yes, we're here again with you this week to talk about some adventures we've been on recently.
Yeah, some outdoor adventures
Yes.
in some pretty cold conditions.
Yes, which is not normal for us, even though we do live in the cold, cold climate of Buffalo. But,
Normally during these months we hibernate, basically. We very rarely go outside because it's cold and we don't like to be cold.
no, probably not the best place for us to be, but you know what? This is home.
Yeah, so if you did see our latest video on YouTube, we actually decided to venture out on a snowy day and into the cold.
Yeah.
But it didn't really stay snowy for very long. It kind of cleared up, but it just remained very cold.
It was freezing. It was so cold. I don't think I've ever been that cold in my life.
Yeah, I mean, the temperature was about, I think it was like 33 or 32 from what I remember. So it's definitely freezing out there.
Just to be out there for like an extended period of time wasn't very pleasant. But
Yeah, there's a couple things that we didn't really account for and plan out properly that day.
yeah.
So maybe we should start at the beginning.
Yeah. So, what was our first mess up?
Well, so the day before we decided that, you know what? We're going to do something totally different. We're going to actually be at the park as the sun starts to rise. So we want to be out there first thing in the morning. And we set our alarms and we're like, okay, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. And
I think we went to bed early too.
yeah, so we tried to account for that early morning, but something happened.
We didn't get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We hit that snooze button probably like 50 times.
Probably, yeah.
So when it was all said and done, we woke up at about noon. So
We were
yeah.
really like looking to do something different, like some different photography, get some different lighting than what we normally get. And we're like, oh, we're going to go out. It's cold. That's going to be something different. We want to see if we can get like the different lighting, like early in the morning, like sunrise. And
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the animals and birds and stuff out there are more active sometimes in the morning.
yeah,
So
see some different creatures
yeah.
and stuff. But we failed horribly.
Yes, we did.
There's always next time.
There's always another day.
Well, yep.
So, yeah, so that was mistake number one, is we just didn't get up in time. But that didn't stop us from going. So we did end up going, and without any spoilers, it ended up working out that we didn't go there in the morning because we would have missed out on something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. If we had gone there when we planned to, we probably would have been back home before we saw what we saw.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it was so cold we couldn't stay out there like that long. Like that would have been like probably a 7 to 8 hours like out there. That'd be nuts.
Well, we were there for quite a while.
No, I'm saying if we got up in the morning and
No,
you're
I
out
know.
there, it'd be like 7 to 8 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And we just weren't prepared for that.
Yeah. I thought we would be prepared. We knew it was going to be cold, and I wore like 4 pairs of pants, I think. I could barely move. I wore like leggings, and then like I think I wore like 2 pairs of leggings, a pair of sweatpants, and my jeans over it. And then I wore like probably the same amount of layers as far as like tops, and then my jacket, and I had my like furry hood with like the little ear flaps, and I was like, I'm good. I got a scarf to wrap my face in. But I didn't really account for my extremities. I was wearing 2 pairs of gloves, and it wasn't enough because our gloves are crap. And then I didn't wear multiple layers of socks, which I probably should have done.
Yeah.
So I was freezing, and
Yeah.
I'm like cold all the time, so it was not good for me. I was like struggling, like it hurt. It was like so cold that like it physically like hurt, like it was painful. Yeah.
That's never a good thing, because I think you were pretty close to being like in that area where you're gonna get like frostbite.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty probably close to like that, and
Yeah.
that's dangerous. So you don't ever want to
Yeah.
be
It
in
was
that kind of condition.
it was a little challenging.
Yeah. So if anyone has any suggestions on good gloves for being out there and also
Like
trying to do
foot
photography,
gear. Foot gear? Foot
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 apparel,
warming? Foot apparel. Yes.
foot
Like
apparel would be good too. Some nice toasty boots.
yeah.
We could definitely use some suggestions on that. So you could just like hit us up on Twitter at Tealfish Studio or at Unbounded Artist.
Yeah.
And then anything would help because I don't feel like we have adequate equipment for
No, definitely not.
clothing.
I think like we definitely want to go and shoot in those conditions again. I just want to be better prepared because we did have to go back to the car
Yes.
and I needed to like defrost. And then he was smart and wore 2 pairs of socks, but I stole one of them. Because I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it going back out without something else to help my little toes.
Yeah. And also, I think what we should have got, like you mentioned, was like those little heating packs.
Yeah, like the hand and foot warmers. I don't know exactly how they work, but I think that probably would have helped a lot too.
Yeah, at least a little bit. I don't really know.
Yeah, we'll have to mess around with them.
I'm hoping there's clothing and stuff out there that you don't really need those for.
Yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, that part was probably the most challenging, was just dealing with like the cold, but everything else was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked like the type of shots that we were getting was something that we've never taken before because we've never been out like that before. So like just getting like the snow on things and like the frozen stuff, and there weren't as many creatures, but
Yeah,
the
I
ones
think
we
they're
did
all
see were
kind of hiding out.
pretty cool.
I also like the lighting later in the day. It had that like golden hour kind of feel to it, even though it wasn't really golden hour. But that's how it is when you're this far like north. At this time of year, you get like that really good lighting really early in the day.
Yeah, so that was nice. It was my first time kind of really playing with my new camera, and I will say I was getting really frustrated because everything is backwards. Like when I was trying to get a shot and like I'm going to zoom in, my Nikon zoom in is the Canon zoom out, and vice versa. And
That's
I
frustrating.
was getting so annoyed. And then I was like trying to figure out some of the settings and stuff, which I probably should have played around with first before I was actually out there. But I was trying to figure out the focus points and stuff like that because it was totally different than what I'm normally used to on the Nikon.
Yeah, and there's a lot more options too. I think you can do like groups, like the 3 sections, and you can do individual like 9 focus
Yeah.
points, and then like the single.
Yeah, like once I get used to it, I think I'm really gonna like the camera, but it's just really frustrating because I'm used to just going out there and shooting what I want to shoot, and I just felt like I was really like delayed on some of the things that I wanted to do. Just because I'm so used to the Nikon, like I know what to do like automatically, and then like now I'm like a noob. I don't know what I'm doing.
I think you're picking up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm trying. I did try to get like a lot of like different kinds of shots and try to do some like creative edits and stuff like that. So that was really fun. And I think that'll just get better with time.
Yeah,
I
like
enjoyed it.
the one thing I really liked was the video aspect. Like I was like, this is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's exactly what I wanted. Like to be able to like, capture like that really nice like video with that depth of field and everything, and that really nice bokeh. It's really really good.
Yeah. And just like there's some things that when we're out there, I was like, oh, I love this. Like I really like want to like show somebody this aspect, and sometimes the photography alone doesn't capture like the whole feeling, I guess, that you would get like when you get that extra like just atmosphere with the video and stuff like that. So that was nice to be able to capture that too. So I'm enjoying it. I like it so far.
Me too. There's definitely a lot to learn, like you said. Especially with like some of the gear we have. Like we've got some ND filters and stuff like that. I think that's gonna come in play more in like the really bright days when you're outside. Because for video, you got to kind of keep like a certain frame rate, or else it just starts to look really weird with the motion blur. So
Yeah, like we're still, there's like when I went through and like actually edited all of the footage and stuff, I did the best that I could, but like there's certain things that like I wish we would have done better, but we're still learning. It's like our first time really putting something together like that. I feel like the quality's definitely better than what we've done in the past, but just like some of our transitions and like the panning and stuff is a little stuttery, and I know you can get the effects that we want to get handheld. We just have to get better at it.
yeah.
So
I think that comes with also kind of planning out how the video is going to move along. So if you're like panning left to right, your next shot should move left to right too as your transition. So
yeah, just trying to. I think that's our thing is that we just don't plan anything out. Or just like YOLO, and we just like to go out there and capture what we can. But I think we have to be a little bit more conscious of like what we want the end product to look like, so that we can kind of get the shots that we want somewhere in there. Yeah. It was fun. I really liked it.
I think it also comes just with experience. Like the more you do that, the more you're gonna be able to recognize like what type of shot you need next, and so I think the more we're out there, I think it just comes probably a little bit easier.
Yeah. The other thing that I really liked is like now that we're doing like the video aspect too, because this is stuff that we would have been doing anyway with like our business and stuff like that, is going out and taking pictures. But now that we're adding like the video piece to it, we're just doing more creative things. And then like I like that we're adding like the music aspect into our videos
yeah.
and stuff like that. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I don't know if I should.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. So I've been dabbling a little bit into like the music production thing, and one thing I'm really proud of is that like all the music in our videos is like stuff that we've created ourselves. That way, not only do we get to like kind of avoid the whole YouTube like copyright thing with using copyrighted music and stuff like that, where your video will get like flagged or demonetized or removed, or who knows, however the music company wants to handle that situation. But that way we get to avoid it altogether.
Yeah, we don't have that to worry about. Plus, it gives us like another creative outlet.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to learn. Right now I'm using Ableton. Was it 9? I'm still on 9. So I know a new version is out right now, but that's the one I'm using right now.
Like, I don't really know, because like my music is all like just on my guitar, like stuff that I've written and just like singing and songwriting that way. And I'm not really sure how to incorporate that yet. I know that there's a way to get like your instruments like into Ableton, so that we can kind of produce it the way that we want to, so that we can use some of that too. We just haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm really liking like that. That's just like an extra like little thing that we can be creative with.
I mean, down the line, I would like to release like an album or something.
Yeah.
Not that it would be any good, but it'd just be something fun that I've always kind of wanted to do. Like as far back as I can remember, is like I always wanted to get into making music. Like I remember, I don't even know how old I was, but I think it was like on my Gateway computer. Like I downloaded like
Fruity Loops or something.
yeah, like Fruity Loops, and what else was there?
I had Fruity Loops, and I think I had like
I think there was something else.
guitar
I think it was
tracks.
like Audacity or
oh
something.
yeah, Audacity.
So I had like
had
those,
that too.
but they're like trial versions or something.
Yeah.
And then I never actually got it because I was like, I don't have any money.
Yeah, I know that I used to play around with it too, because like it was just like me and my guitar, and then like I was like, oh, and like I can add harmonies, and I can do different like tracks, and then I can add like drum loops and all this other stuff, but like I just didn't have the money to like put into it. So after the trial, that was kind of the end.
Yeah. And then I did mess around in GarageBand a little bit, but I didn't really catch on to how it really worked that well. So it's kind of just was like I could do it in there, but I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I was like, it's not really user friendly in my opinion to
Yeah.
be able to do like the stuff that I was trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, I think we do want to invest in like getting like a keyboard or something though too, because right now we're just doing
Got like a fuzz.
the We're doing like I don't even know what you call it, where you just like digitally.
Yeah, you just basically draw out notes
Yeah.
and then it plays it. They're like MIDI notes.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So it's been nice because like this is like kind of combining a bunch of our different passions all together, which I really like.
yeah, I think that's the whole goal of our YouTube channel in general is just to kind of use all of our creativity and put stuff together.
Yeah. Just give us a nice outlet to do all the different types of things that we like to do.
Yeah, well, entertaining you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully entertaining you.
Hopefully. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Anything else we should talk about our trip?
I think the big thing is the bird. The bird, as you called the eagle.
The guy said it was an
I
eagle.
know, but it was not an
I
eagle.
got so excited because the guy's like, it's an eagle. And I'm like, he has a huge camera lens, so he must know his bird. He had one of those, like, it's got to have been like a
I have no
500
idea.
millimeter or
Yeah,
something.
it was massive.
Yeah, he was carrying like this huge like camera lens, and he's just like, it's an eagle. And I'm like, oh, an eagle?
I think it was just as cool as an eagle, though.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So what we ended up seeing was a red-tailed hawk, and it was a pretty sizable bird. Like, we did like a little bit of research on like Wikipedia and stuff, and they said it was like 7 pounds or something like that. And I feel like that bird was bigger than 7 pounds.
Yeah. We're still like, because we took our pictures and we were trying to research to figure out what it was that we actually saw. And that seemed to be a match. But
Yeah.
if you guys see the video and you think it's something else, tell us please, because we're still like trying to get better at like the animal identification kind of thing. But it was awesome. It was like the coolest thing.
Yeah. The thing I like the most is like kind of the journey of the bird.
Yeah.
So it kind of started out as like we ran into a guy on the path, and he kind of said like, this morning I saw this hawk come down and swoop down right in front of me and
Eagle. He said eagle.
Oh, yeah. He said he saw this eagle swoop down in front of him and grab a squirrel and like bring it up to like a perch in a tree. And we're like, what?
What?
We're like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. The only problem was like my shutter speed was too slow, so like my pictures came out blurry. So I came back, and I'm now trying to find him.
Yeah.
And he's like, usually he's like in this area, so just keep like an eye out. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
As we journeyed around the park.
It's pretty cool because he must have been like a regular because he was like, oh, like the eagle is like usually around here, and like he's not camera shy. He like comes out for pictures, so we're definitely gonna try to find him again. And then he was like telling us about all the other like creatures at different parts of this particular park that we go to. So we were like excited. We're like, okay, well, while we're doing our thing, we're just gonna kind of keep an eye out to see if we can find him.
And the first time we spotted him, we were on the opposite side of the pond, and we saw him like off in the distance, like in the tree, and with his like white chest, he like really stood out because there's like so much contrast. We're like, there he is.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man, we found him. And little did we know that throughout the day we'd be closer and closer in proximity to him.
Yeah. After we had gone back to the car because like at that point I was like frozen solid, so we went to like defrost, and then when we came back to continue, we decided to take a path we don't usually take. It was kind of like more like the back trails, I guess.
Yeah, and then that was also on the same side that we saw him last.
Because we were like, let's see what's back there, because we usually kind of have like our usual spots that we go to when we go there.
Yeah, we have like kind of a usual kind of path, route we take. Yeah.
So we wanted to try something different because that was the whole purpose of this whole trip, was do something different. So we went walking the back trails, and we're just doing our thing, and then Brandon's just like, oh my god, there he is. And he looked enormous.
Yeah, it looks bigger than 7 pounds to me. I mean, our cat's 9 pounds, and it looked bigger than the cat.
Yeah. It was really striking because, especially because, like, there's, like, nothing on the trees. It's, like, all, like, bare branches and stuff. So he was just, like, right there. And it was, like, the coolest thing.
Yeah, he was up there just chilling, and then he actually pooped.
Yeah, I wish we had gotten that.
I almost had it, but I missed it.
I was like, oh, okay.
We're like, well, okay.
Up close and personal.
Yeah. Well, luckily it didn't poop on us. That would have been horrible.
Oh, God.
That would have been absolutely disgusting.
Instantly frozen.
Oh. Ew. Hopefully it froze by the time it hit. That way it just like bounced off.
Ew. Just getting pelted with, like, eagle poop. It's not an eagle. It's a hawk. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. We were just like, wow, like this is so cool. And we were taking pictures, and there was somebody else coming up the trail. And then they were taking some pictures, and I think his camera died or something, his batteries, remember? And I was like, oh no. I can't, like, when you come across that stuff, we're trying to make sure we got extra batteries and stuff for things
That's
like
gonna
that.
be like our next camera investment is like a backup set of batteries. But the thing about the ADD batteries I noticed so far is they really do kind of hold a lot of charge because we've done a lot of video and photos, and you know at the end of the day we still got like 50% of the battery left. So
Yeah, it's awesome that the battery life is so good on it.
yeah,
'Cause
I do notice that the battery is like bigger than the Rebel XT1.
but that's what we need. We need something that's going to last us a while. But just in case, like, you never know. It's always good to have a spare just in case. Because, like, that guy was just like, oh, no, my batteries. And I was like, oh, bro, sorry. So, yeah. But then we just he kind of took off and went across the pond again. And we just kind of continued on our way and went to, like, through the back and stuff. And then as we came around, we kind of noticed, like, a large gathering of people. And we're like, what's this? What's going on? And,
Yeah, then we saw something that we really never thought we would see that day. So what happened was the hawk came back to his perch where he stored the squirrel from earlier that morning, and then he finally decided to start eating it. And there was like a group of, I would say about 10 people, all like taking photos and video, and like it was crazy. I've never seen anything like that at that park before.
yeah.
Usually everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, but this was like something special.
Yeah, it was really, like, cool. It was just, like, nice to have, like, all these, like, photographers, like, talking about it, and, like, the camaraderie, and, like, just, it was really cool. It was, like, a nice, like, it was almost like we were there, like, with a group or something.
Yeah. So we got some video of that, which we have included in that last YouTube video. Maybe not for the Squeamish people, but
Yeah. A little graphic.
but it is nature.
Yeah. Nature's lit. It was really cool. So I was like, wow, that's, like, awesome.
When we were out there shooting, I was kind of worried about the quality and how that would actually turn out because it was getting dark outside.
Yeah.
It was being handheld, and it was like a 250 millimeter lens. So there is some visible like shakiness to it, but overall not bad for being such a cold day.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool to actually see, like, once we went through and edited everything and actually were able to watch it back, it just looked awesome.
Yeah, especially when we put it on the big screen and we're like, oh man, that actually looks pretty good. So it's super exciting because this is something that we definitely want to do a lot more because nature in general just influences us a lot, and we feel like this is our way to like give back and, you know, inspire people to get out there and to respect the wildlife and everything.
Yeah, it's just when you get to see, like, that finished product, it just really, like, motivates you, and, like, everything that you've been working for is, like, starting to come together, and it's, like, really exciting. So I'm really happy, and just, like, motivates me to want to do it that much more.
Yeah, and plus the best thing is like every day you go out there, it's always something different. You don't know what you're going to see. I always go out with the expectation of expect nothing, and then just whatever happens just happens. Because sometimes there's gonna be times you go out and you don't see anything like amazing, like. But then a lot of times you just have to just take your time and really enjoy the stuff around you, and then you start to notice things that you never noticed before.
Yeah. I just really like doing it because it's just really relaxing and it's peaceful and it's so far removed from like our day-to-day life. And then just like the experience, like there's some things that we've experienced just by going out and doing like our hikes and stuff and taking our photos that we would have never experienced outside of that. Like it's just like something like special.
Yeah, I guess I had kind of a really close encounter with a very dangerous thing that I didn't realize was dangerous,
Yeah.
but we'll probably touch on that one in a little bit. So
Yeah, that's for
we're gonna
another
keep you,
time.
we're
but
gonna
yeah.
keep you hanging.
Man, but like some of the stuff that we've come across has just been amazing. So worth every minute of it.
It is.
And now we just have like a better way to capture it, which is really nice.
I know. I feel like it's just leagues better than the iPhone. Like it's just more of what I envisioned.
Yeah, like the finished product just looks a little bit crisper and more like true to life, which is nice. So
Yeah. So that's kind of what we had this week for you. Just a little bit of a backstory to our video that we shot.
yeah, and more to come.
Yes, a lot more.
Very excited.
Spring should be around the corner any time now, supposedly, but
Not soon enough. Not
the
soon
weather doesn't seem to want to respect that.
It's just like constant like freezing temperatures and blowing snow, and it's just been draining. Like some of it's really pretty, but
It gets kind of
It's
ugly
just-
real quick
yeah.
with the road salt and stuff they put down, and it just gets really brown and it's gross.
the driving isn't great, and it's kind of hard to get out to the parks that we go to.
Yeah, like last week, a lot of them were actually closed because of the wind. Like we had almost hurricane strength wind here. It was like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah. So even though I want to go back out, I don't know that that's going to happen this year. We're going to have to wait until like it gets a little bit better and like the spring starts happening.
Yeah, that's probably the next time we're actually going to be able to be out. But we got something else in the works that we've got to edit and post up too. So, spoiler alert.
So I guess that's it.
I think it is. Yeah, so I want to thank you all for listening today, and if you watched on YouTube, thank you as well. As always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Yes. And thanks for listening. And until next time, may your artistry always be unbounded. Bye.
Bye.